Carolina. So we are going to get started. Welcome everyone to yet another episode of Archaeogaming with SASA. Today we are going to be playing the game Immortals, Fenyx Rising, which is another game made by the Ubisoft studios, known from Assassin's Creed, of course. And my guest is Alexander Vandewalle, who is, just like me, a Belgian citizen. And I'm very excited to have Alexander here with us, and he will introduce himself in a minute. But first, as always, some little comments and remarks we have to make beforehand. So, as you know, this is a SASA live event. SASA stands for Save Ancient Studies Alliance. So we are a non-profit whose mission it is to reverse the current downward trend and the study of the ancient world. So we are trying to get more people interested in the ancient world so that they go out there and study it and take classes so that more people have knowledge of the ancient societies. And so we are trying to engage the public and bringing together students and scholars to share their passion for the study of the ancient world in order to get a vast new generation of students. And Alexander is, of course, one of those scholars who will be sharing his passion for ancient Greece and mythology with us today. So where can you find SASA? You can find us pretty much on all the social media channels. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, on YouTube, and since a couple of weeks also on Discord. And Lauren, our lovely assistant, will put some links in the chat to all these social media channels where you can find us. As for today's event, some protocol, of course, as always, be kind and respectful in the chat. We probably will have some technical issues, as we always do. So be very patient as we are trying to fix those and get back to you. This video will be recorded and then we'll put on YouTube and Facebook Live after it is over, so then you can go and rewatch the episode. And as always, have fun and let's get started. Alexander, welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Very happy to be here.
Can you introduce yourself a little bit to the audience?
Yeah, so I'm Alexander Vandewalle. I'm currently a joint PhD student at the University of Antwerp and Ghent University in Belgium. And my topic of research is the characters of ancient mythology in video games about the ancient world, specifically Greek and Roman inspired video games. So this game, it was a match made in heaven when I found out that this would be made.
You're doing your entire PhD on video games, basically.
Yeah, it is the dream job.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So I'm looking at characters like gods and heroes specifically in a couple of games and how they are characterized by those games. What is specific about them because of the video game medium, and how does our understanding of them through those games compared to our understanding of them based on ancient sources.
Which fits perfectly into SASA, as our mission is to show how the ancient world is still relevant today. And it seems that video games are making extensive use of the ancient world and the mythologies from the ancient world. So I think this is a perfect example of how we could still make ancient history very contemporaneous, right?
Yeah, very much. Thousands of people play these games, so I think this is one of the primary ways in which mythology or ancient world in general is, alive today. And it's so important to know what kind of knowledge about these myths and historical periods is being transmitted throughout these games, and the image that they create about these cultures and societies and stories, of course.
Great. Yeah, so if the audience has a question for Alexander that maybe has nothing to do with the game, but more about his research in general, feel free to ask that in the chat too. I'm sure that Alexander will be more than happy to answer those kind of questions.
Of course.
As well.
Yeah, and if you're interested about video games and antiquity in general, you might want to check out my website as well, paizoman.com. It's a work in progress database about video games in Greece or Rome, or mythological story world based on Greece and Rome. And we've also recently started a blog post initiative, so anyone who wants to write any short text on any kind of antiquity, not necessarily Greek or Roman, but maybe Egyptian or Chinese or Mesopotamian, just send me an email and we'll discuss it.
Perfect. Sounds good. Okay, so today we will be playing Immortals Fenyx Rising.
Yeah, so
what's the background of this story?
So welcome everyone to the Golden Isle. This is the island, the mythical island where the gods live, or at least they lived. Right here in this structure, this is the Hall of the Gods, where the gods are supposed to be. But as you can see, there is not that many gods here. There's one, Hermes. He's, training here, working out. But he is the size of me. He's the size of a mortal, and I'm playing as Fenyx. You can play Fenyx as a male or female, depending on your choice. But, where are the gods? As you can see, the Hall of the Gods is in ruins, and that's because there's an ancient monster called Typhon, and he has attacked the world of the gods. And he's very angry with the gods. Way earlier, there was a big battle between Typhon and Zeus, and Zeus defeated him, and therefore he kept his reign over the cosmos. And then he buried him under, some people say under the Etna in Sicily, other people say somewhere else, under another island. But Typhon has escaped in this game. And he's very unhappy. He thinks the gods, they're immoral creatures. They're painted pigs. He says they're they do whatever they want. They squabble. They murder. They don't think of anything but themselves. And he's very angry with them. So you can see here this mountain, this rift. That's where he broke free out of. And monsters are now roaming the world of the gods. And it's up to it's our task to save it. And when he attacked, there was this big fight. Some gods fled the island. Others, they stayed and they wanted to fight against Typhon, but they lost. And now they have been changed or transformed into something. We'll have to see what they are transformed in. And it's up to us to get them back.
Right, so you're not actually in ancient Greece.
No.
You're in this fictional floating islands.
Yeah.
Just the world of the gods.
Yeah, this is the Golden Isle. So there's different regions to the Golden Isle. And every region is specifically designed after a god that stayed to fight Typhon but lost. For example, right now we are in the Valley of the Eternal Spring, which is where we'll find the goddess of love, Aphrodite. There is the Grove of Kleos, where we'll find the goddess of wisdom, which is Athena. The Forge Lands, this is where we'll find the god of the forge, that's Hephaistos. And War's Den, there's the god of war, of course, Ares. There's also the Clashing Rocks, where this is the reason why you start, because you arrive at the Golden Isle off of a shipwreck. And this is where you find Hermes. This is Typhon, but this is near the end of the game. And then there's the King's Peak, where you'll find Zeus. The entire region is dedicated to Zeus.
Cool.
Yeah, so we can look at the environments, but we could also look at the Hall of the Gods first, perhaps. For right here, we have the place where Hermes. This is where the gods apparently train. This is where they work out. Although Hermes also says that you can cheat your way and you can just use Zeus's lightning to get buff quicker. This is the river Styx cistern. This is where you'll upgrade your skills and your godly powers, your abilities, which are also divinely inspired. This is.
Can you go back to that one?
Yeah, of course.
I see it's the river Styx.
Yeah.
And you have to pay in.
Well, yeah, you have
Charon.
Yeah, you have to pay coins of Cauldron. You get those by completing myth challenges. So around the island, there's I think about 80 myth challenges that you have to do. We'll check some of these out. And then you get coins of Charon. You know, the Charon was the man who transported the souls of the dead over the river Styx to the underworld.
Cool.
So it's cool that you can.
Very nice reference here.
Yeah, I mean, they're all of these, game-like or game elements, game design elements. They're all they use mythological references to fill those in concretely.
It's very creative.
This is Aphrodite's beauty chair. This is where you'll. This is where you can change your appearance. This is an interesting one. This is Hermes's heroic task board. But if you look at it, you'll see that there's actually some Greek letters here, and it's a short Greek text which they have just copy pasted 3 times over. And it's an actual Greek text found in ancient Greece. It's one of the so-called Epidaurian miracle inscriptions. So there was a sanctuary of Asclepius in Epidauros, which people who were ill went to visit, and if they were healed, they would put in an inscription on a stele there, thanking the sanctuary and serving as proof that they were healed over there. And this one is actually one of the.
Can you actually read this?
Yeah, it's a Greek text. So in translation, it's about a boy named Lyson. That's the first word, Lyson. He was from Hermione. It was a city in the Peloponnese in Argolis. It's today the city of Hermione, I think. He was a blind child, and in a waking state, it says he was healed by one of the dogs of the sanctuary, and he walked away with healthy eyes. So apparently, there were dogs that could heal blindness, and it's perfectly transcribed except for one letter. This one should be an S. It should be a sigma. I think I don't know why. It's just a typo. I think because they use sigmas. So it's not like they don't have the texture for it, but they put a typo there, and it's really weird to have this text here because it serves no purpose. It has no context in the game whatsoever. But I think the reason for it is that in the previous game by the studio Assassin's Creed Odyssey, there you had the sanctuary of Epidavros, and in there you had this text as well. So I think they were just searching for some Greek letters that could make this place look even more Greek, and they probably thought that nobody would notice, but classicists notice. Yeah, we notice. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This is the Cauldron of Circe, where you'll make your potions, your health potions off of pomegranates, and you put your nectars in here.
Cauldron of Circe.
Yeah. So Circe was a witch or an enchantress that I think is first known from Homer's Odyssey. So it's a place where Odysseus goes on his voyage home, and then Circe becomes in love with him, and he's stuck there for a while. And then after tricking her, he can leave again to go home. So she's a witch, and so it makes sense to put her name on a cauldron where you make potions. So I mean, it's a fitting appropriation.
Yeah, I love it.
This is the Forge of Hephaistos, where you'll upgrade your armor and your weapons. Hephaistos, the god of the forge. So again, it's a fitting reference to put in here. And this one is also really interesting. This is the Kylix of Athena. So a Kylix is a special kind of Greek vase. And this is where you put ambrosia, the food of the gods that gives you, or is associated with eternal life. So you put it in here, and then you can max out your health stats. So collecting more ambrosia will get you more health. So another fitting reference, I think.
Yes.
We can start going. Oh, one thing, yeah. This is, I think, the only structure in the entire game that uses Corinthian columns. If we look at the architecture, we can look at the architecture of the map, but every region has its own distinct architecture. But I think this one is the only one that uses these kinds of columns. So yeah, maybe we should do a tour of the island, or if anybody in the chat wants to see something in particular, you can also do that. But maybe we can start by
you can fly.
Yeah, we can hover. It's not like we can't really fly, but these are the wings of Daedalus, the father of Icarus in mythology. So there's an association with that myth as well. And I mean, Daedalus is also said to have created this entire island. So I think in one quest, because all of the quests, all of the side quests are hidden quests, so you have to really look for them. And then you get to go to Daedalus's workshop, and you can see how he made this entire island. So yeah, this is, like we said, this is the Valley of Eternal Spring. It's a region of Aphrodite. So if we look at it, it looks really beautiful, right? It's very lush, it's very idyllic, and that is kind of how this game wants to portray Aphrodite. I mean, the way that these regions are created and designed really says a lot about the gods that are in the game. And we see this big statue. This is the typical Ubisoft synchronization point where you get to see the entire region. Some things they always seem to use.
Right, so you can climb then and then look at the environment.
Yeah, and then you get to defog the entire map. So then the fog over the map goes away. You get to scan the entire region, and then you can look for all of these things to do. There's so much to do. Even after 60 hours of this game, you still haven't completed every single puzzle or dungeon or I mean, it takes a lot of time, this game. I have
played it too. I'm kind of pretending I don't know anything, but yeah. I played it too, and I think I also have like 200 hours in
wow,
it, so
200, okay.
Yeah, it takes
wow.
forever. I'm a slow gamer. I like to take my time. I don't really go for all the main quests and finish it. I like to look around, but yeah, I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, I think I did the main quest, and most of the... I mean, I did the PlayStation Platinum thing, and it took me about 60 hours, I think. But yeah, I could see how you spend a lot of time in these. Oh, by the way,
I'm a completionist. I'm the kind of person who's like, well, I can't start on the second region if I haven't done everything yet from the first region. So it takes me forever.
Yeah, I started that way, but then then I was like, there's too much to do, and so I just moved on to the other region and did everything after I completed the main quest.
Especially as a classicist, I'm sure you were curious to see everything.
Definitely.
You couldn't wait.
By the way, those rock formations that we just passed on the way here, I read that they were inspired by the Greek Meteora rocks in the north of Greece to create those. So they took a lot of inspirations from various sources, and even the style itself, it's really cartoonish or sketchy like, and it's because they were inspired by Japanese animation, and they were inspired by Studio Ghibli movies, so they wanted to do that, and it works. It's a mythological fantasy world, so I think it's a cool way. Yeah, it's really beautiful. And
I always prefer very colorful games over these very dark, violent black and red games. Yeah, I like this better.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, especially this region. And sometimes you'll find something like this. It's this big lyre, Greek instrument, and when you approach it, you get a short text.
Who subdues mortal men and birds in air.
Prometheus says it. We'll say something on that later. And those texts that you get when you approach the lyres are actual Greek texts as well. They're condensed versions of Homeric hymns. So they're very, very short reworkings or adaptations of those actual Greek texts, which is really weird because the first lyre that you approach, the one in the first region of Hermes. So you get the text, and then Zeus asks, "That's really nice. Who wrote that?" And then Prometheus was like, "My favorite poet who hasn't been born yet." So it takes place before Homer, but somehow the Homeric texts were already written. So,
that's funny. Yeah, the humor in this game is.
Yeah, it
can be very funny.
It's really funny. It's what they do with mythology and how they make it funny it's really amazing.
Right, it's so lighthearted compared to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where things try to be realistic and serious. This is the opposite.
Yeah,
this is, just
completely. So yeah,
someone asked in the chat, Alexander, do you need to complete specific challenges to get all the upgrades, like the Icarus wings and that horse, which he guesses is a Pegasus?
Yeah and no. So you start out in the tutorial with one set of wings that you get, but if you play throughout the game, you get other kinds of wings, and these one are purely cosmetical. I think. I don't think they do something different. The horses as well, there's many mounts throughout the game, some of which look really special, like this one. It's a parrot mixed with a Pegasus or some kind. There's also a zebra, there's a pink unicorn as well, but I like the golden Pegasus named Guardian. So you get you start out with some equipment, but when you progress throughout the game, you can, for example, you get different helmets, every one of which has different statistics and can change the way that you play.
Yeah, it's really fun. On the one hand, it's like a collector's items, so that you want to have a complete set. But on the other hand, you also learn something about the different animals or wings, and they have a funny little story that goes with them. I think it's very well done.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, there's a Cyclops here. We'll try to avoid him. Yeah, it's. I mean, there's something for everyone to like. I think if you like story games, then there's a story. If you like collecting things, you can collect everything. So
yeah, I'm a collector.
Yeah. So here we are at a small temple-like, a round temple structure, and we can see how this is associated with Aphrodite, right? It's very effeminate, it's very lovingly, just like Aphrodite is, the goddess of love. And here we see that they use the Ionic columns. So it's a different architecture for every region. That's really interesting. It's very stylish, which, I mean, we can guess that this is what Aphrodite's world would look like. Maybe we can go to the next region, if I remember which way it is. Yeah, it is that way.
The moon is out.
Yeah, it's nighttime.
Oh, look at that beautiful sky.
Yeah, the sky. There's so much visual style in it, and there's also many dungeons or vaults of Tartarus, as they're called, and they always have like the nicest sky in them, even though it's supposed to be like the underworld. It's so beautiful. Oh, there's something maybe that I can show close by. If I leave my horse here. Yeah, right there. So we already talked about the myth challenges. Oh wait, I grabbed onto this. I didn't want to do that. This is one of them. This is really interesting, but first I guess we'll have to get rid of Typhon's minions. So there are different kind of enemies, like these birds that were bird-like creatures that were in the sky. They're the harpies, one of Greece's mythological monsters. The other ones are just Typhon's soldiers. But if we stand over... Oh, there's one more. Two more.
No, you're gonna have to shoot those.
Yeah. Luckily, I have my own bird who can help me. Phosphor, he's a
And you're
Fenyx.
very strong already.
Yeah.
It's not always that easy to win.
No. But this is a new game plus, so the enemies are more difficult. But so this is an Odysseus bow challenge, it's called. So what you have to do here is you have to shoot an arrow through all of these axes, which will eventually land in a, you know, this is...
like a fire basket.
Yeah, like a fire, like something like that. But just also a direct reference to ancient myth, because in the Odyssey, this is how Odysseus makes himself known when he returns to his island of Ithaca, because his island is overrun by suitors who want to marry Odysseus' wife, who hasn't seen Odysseus in 20 years, and Odysseus says, no. The only one who can use my bow, because it's a very heavy bow, but that's the only one that gets to marry Penelope, his wife. And he's the only one that can do it, and then he gets rid of all the suitors. So this is actually a nice reference to that. And if we get it through all the axes...
I loved these bow challenges.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
I really like these. They can be quite hard, especially near the end.
You're like, well, where's the next one?
Yeah, I might have missed one already. I don't know, but
luckily sometimes you can get some upgrades to make your bows go or your arrows go slower.
Yeah, I'm using that right now. Yeah, right there it is. So we did it, and then of course we get our coins of Chiron.
And now you can grab your coin.
Yeah. See, we get 6 more coins, which is quite a lot. And this is a statue of Cupid. So, again, it's another reference to Aphrodite. I'll have to get over this water, because water is like one of the biggest enemies in the game. If you're out of stamina, then you instantly die in the water.
Well, if someone has played Legends of Zelda,
Yeah.
especially Breath of the Wild, this is basically
Yeah.
a replica of that game.
That's true. If Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Assassin's Creed Odyssey made a baby, it will be this.
Yep.
The exact thing.
Which I don't mind, it's fun.
No,
and
yeah.
Plus, Legends of Zelda is not available on PC, and I'm a PC player, so I've never been able to really play it.
Me neither.
So I played a little bit on the Twitch, but
yeah. No, we didn't have a Nintendo like a Wii or anything, so we couldn't play Zelda games.
This one you can play on PC, so that
Yeah.
that opened up that genre of games for me.
That's true. Oh wait, there's a boss battle right here. Maybe we can see who the boss is.
Boss.
It's Okipete. It's one of the harpies in Greek mythology. He's right there. Maybe I'll skip it. Maybe we can go back, because I want to show the rest of the world, and it might take some time.
What's this area actually with all this?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any direct reference to it. This is right between Aphrodite and Athena's regions, and I thought there was some kind of myth challenge here, but I don't know exactly where it. Oh, it's right here. It's another bow one, I think. Is it this one? It might be, because this. Yeah. So all the humans that lived here. So apparently there were mortals that lived on the island of the gods as well. They've been turned to stone. But you see that these mortals, they have this green. What's it called? Green smoke.
Cloud?
Yeah. Well, then I think usually there should be a description popping up, but this is actually a reference to the myth of the Lemnian women, the women of the island of Lemnos, who were cursed by Aphrodite, if I recall correctly, and they started to stink very badly, apparently, and their husbands, they weren't attracted to them anymore because of the really repugnant smell. and then they cheated on them with wives from Thrace. But the women were, of course, very angry with them, and then overnight, the entire male populace of Lemnos was killed. And I think this was a reference to that, but maybe it's if when you do the challenge. But I thought this was a direct reference to that.
Yeah, I totally missed that. I do not know that legend, so thank you for clarifying that.
So every region is filled with all of these myths that are direct. I mean, if you go to the Valley of Eternal Spring, then you will find the myths of Aphrodite. If you go to the Grove of Cleos, where we're almost at, then you'll find Athena. Oh, right here. Now we get the. Now we get the dialogue. Yeah.
Yes.
Of Aphrodite's punishment.
Huh.
You know that's a conspiracy, right? A bunch of women on Lemnos got woke and killed all the men. So the mortals pinned it on Aphrodite, saying that she made the women smell
Pinned it
bad
on
so
the-
their
on the
husbands
gods.
wouldn't come.
What?
That actually kind of makes
The
sense.
text says that Zeus, who's talking, or Prometheus
Oh, yeah.
who's talking, says, "Oh, it's actually a myth. They did it themselves, the women."
Yeah, true. But maybe that's also something I should say. So the entire game, the entire story of the game is actually a story that is being told by Prometheus to Zeus. Because Zeus is asking Prometheus what he should do against Typhon, because all of the heroes, all of the gods have vanished. The heroes have been taken by Typhon as well. See, now we're in the area of Athena. Prometheus starts telling the story of Fenyx, which will be his redemption. And if he can convince Zeus that Fenyx might save the world, then he should be freed from his punishment for stealing the fire. And Zeus then chained him to the rock and had an eagle eat his liver every day. But if Fenyx can help, then Prometheus is free. So it's actually really cool that everything that you're playing or doing in the game is already a myth, actually, because it's being told by Prometheus. And because every single player will have a different experience of the game, there's already like 1,000 versions of that myth. Just like myths have different versions of their stories. So it's actually like a nice reference to that. So now we're in the area of Athena, and I will make the... No, oh wait. I will make the night go by so that we can see it better. And the area of Athena is different from the area of Aphrodite because there's more structures and more like temples, and it's made that way because they want to evoke the image of Athens and the Acropolis, also devoted to Athena. And there she is with their aegis and the owl, sign of her wisdom. As we see here, there's different architecture. So here they have the Doric columns, which are used for the Acropolis and the Parthenon. So there's a different architectural feel to it than in the area of Aphrodite.
So Alexander, are any of these statues or even buildings that we see recreations of actual buildings and statues?
Yeah. I don't know about actual buildings because this is not a it's not actual Greece like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but there are statues. Maybe we'll find one later. I remember vaguely where it is. I think it's somewhere over here. I don't remember exactly, but I think it's somewhere over there. There are actual statues recreated for the game. Sometimes they also make their own statues. Oh, they're being attacked by some ferocious chickens. But yeah, they use they have used some actual statues. I think that's where it was. I will find an actual statue, another Cyclops.
Right, I was just wondering since it's the same studio as Assassin's Creed, I was wondering if they had like recycled some of the image that they already had from that game.
Oh yeah.
If you already have the statues, just like reuse them.
Most of the images, most of the textures were taken from Odyssey, I think. There's some but they have been made more cartoonish, made more to fit in with this style. Like these trees are, I think, exactly from the way they were in Odyssey. Oh, by the way, right here, this is less a I'm gonna run away from these. This is less an urban city-like environment, like the structure that we saw earlier. But this is like the farmlands, like this silo. This is an exact replica from Odyssey, I think.
Oh yeah, these grain.
Yeah,
granaries. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is this is a reference to Athena, who invented the rake, the plow, the ox yoke, all of these farm utensils, farm equipment. This is where the statue is, I think. This is part of the main quest where you'll learn. We'll have to do it later. Where we'll learn about what it is to be a hero, and this is the entire region's point. It's called the Grove of Kleos, and Kleos is the Greek word for glory. And in this region you'll find quests related to Atalanta, to Achilles, Heracles, Odysseus, and in this specific spot you'll have to do something with the myth of Achilles. And this statue is an actual statue, I think was called Achilles Wounded by the Heel by Charles Gumery, I think, 19th century. And in the you see that his foot is missing, and you'll have to, if I remember, it's right here, but because we're not doing the main quest right now, we can't take it. But you're supposed to.
His foot is laying there.
Yeah, you're supposed to complete the statue. Complete his Achilles heel.
This is a 19th century statue.
Yeah, I think it was. Is it 1850 or something? I think I don't remember correctly, but I think it's that. So even though Homer wasn't born, they already have 19th century sculptures on the Golden Isle. It's a place where time apparently doesn't exist. Close by, I think there was another statue.
I just looked at the statue. It's indeed the same, but it's actually naked.
Okay.
Real life, and they have put on a small loincloth on the one in the game.
Yeah, they have to make it PG, right? So, this is another statue. This is the statue of Odysseus that I think is in the Vatican, but it's without the sword. So I think they added the sword for this statue. You can see it's Odysseus because here you'll have to do something with this boat. You'll have to put it in the water next to this Trojan horse. And there you'll also have to do like the 12 bow challenge, I think. And this is another Greek text in the game. It's a Homeric hymn again to Athena, who and the entire region is dedicated to Athena. But if you look at it, it's actually way worse than the first one that we saw. So what is really weird is that this word, it says padad in Greek, but it should be pallad, but they use the letter delta, the D for the letter L, which is a lambda in Greek. And throughout this entire text, every time there was a letter L in the original, they used the letter delta, which looks like it but isn't the same, to fill that in. And they do the same with. So weird. Yeah, and they do the same with the letter O. So this word should have an O right here, but it doesn't. It has an O with a dot in the middle, which is the letter theta, TH. But that is really weird because from here on they do use the letter O. So it's right here. So why did they not just write the O right there? That's really odd to me.
Find this to our intern to make this.
Yeah, yeah, probably it was first day on the job, but and so if we translate it the way it should be written, it says something like, "I will start to sing about Pallas Athena, who the protector of cities, the terrifying one, who together with Ares is concerned with all things of war, about sacked cities, the battle cries and wars again, and who protects the people who go and come back from the war." And right here they're also missing a letter N for some reason. I don't know why. So it's an actual Homeric hymn, although I think they omitted the last line of it because they probably couldn't fit the stele anymore. But it's weird that they made those typographical mistakes. Again, they thought nobody would notice, but classicists tend to notice these things.
That's very weird.
Oh yeah, we also have some vases right here. You have those Greek motifs as well, but they are always with chicken and a boar. I don't know why. I think it's something to do with, in the context of humor, I guess. But every single vase in the game has a boar and a chicken on it.
It's so colorful as well. Like the
Yeah.
Greek and the green and yellow.
It's true, yeah. Maybe that's part of the reason. But if every single vase is like that, it's it's a bit strange. So now we're really close to the area of Hephaistos, which can my horse take this? Maybe? No. She can't die, so that's okay. So I guess we can go over there. And the area of Hephaistos is, again, it's really different. Starting with the art side, you can see those kind of motifs, which are Minoan architecture, so the architecture of Crete. But instead of the green, yeah, we can run from these boar. Instead of the green, it's all red. It's like a scourged land. It's ruined. This is where Typhon attacked Hephaestus and his workshop. And there's all these kind of
They're
characters.
like robots, right?
Yeah, they're automata. So they're these kind of mechanical, kind of robots that Hephaestus had in his workshop. But they all look like the Iron Giant from that, I think it's 70s movie or 80s movie. They all look like that. And yeah, we see the area is entirely different. So
You mean the animation movie from 1999?
oh, it's 99. Oh, I thought it was earlier. Yeah, I thought it was earlier movie. Yeah, yeah, I think it's that.
Maybe there was an older version, but I know that Warner Brothers made a movie in like around 2000.
Oh yeah, it should be that. I think it also appears in, was it Ready Player One a couple of years ago? I think they also have the Iron Giant in it. And these columns are also really Cretan or Minoan because they are larger at the top than, or wider at the top than they are at the bottom. And in the background, right there, in the middle, that's the big forge of the gods. So this entire area looks really industrial, really mechanical, which I think is again a nice reference to Hephaestus being an artist, a creator, the guy who makes everyone's weapons and equipment. And I think if we go this way, we can see another mechanical structure. Another Cyclops, but I think we'll be first. Right here. By the way, the land of Hephaestus is full of Cyclopes. because he's also said to have worked with many Cyclopes, like Brontes, Teropes. I guess they're all in the game. So right here, this is the Atmos Mechanikos. It's called literally the mechanical steam. Atmos means steam. We won't go through it because there's too many enemies, I think. Yeah. But like it's way more industrial than the idyllic and lush environments of Athena or Aphrodite that we saw earlier. So it's, I mean, the environment says a lot about the image that they want people to have about the gods. And we see all of these mounds as well. I think. See, this is a big forge. It's a huge area. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right there, down below. That green one, I think, is Brontes, one of the Cyclopes, that he had in his workshop. And that is one of the bosses, like the Harpy that we saw earlier as well. Well, there's Gorgons as well. Like Medusa was the most famous one. Medusa is also in the game, because you can't have a mythological game without Medusa, of course. Oh wait. Yeah. Maybe I can show one of the Cyclopes. Oh wait, that's too far away. Yeah, it's a bit far. It's right here. But this is where you'll find another Cyclops, maybe the most famous Cyclops, Polyphemus, the one from the Odyssey where Odysseus blinds him. And the interesting thing about him is that in the game he's wearing a helmet. So because he was blinded by Odysseus, he now has to wear a helmet to cover up his blinded eye.
His eye socket.
Yeah. So it's like the myths happened. So it's like this takes place in like in a post-mythological world, but you will still be reenacting a lot of the myths that you, on your way throughout the island.
Yeah.
We can go to.
I really love how beautiful this game is.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
There's
even
so
like
much verticality in it.
Yeah, and even like the scorched or destroyed areas are really beautiful. And there we have the big statue of Hephaistos with this anvil. Hephaistos, the Hephaistos storyline was one of my favorites because it really zooms in on what he's been through. And have you seen another creature? He has many arms, but not as many as he should have, because these are the Hecatoncheires, if I pronounce that correctly in English. These mythical beings that had supposed to have had 100 arms and 50 heads, but I can imagine that game design-wise, that is a little bit impossible to do. But there were 3 of them, which you'll encounter in Ares' area. What were their names? Kotos, Briareos, and Gigas, I think. Alright. And they're also like these big bosses. So right now we're coming up on the region of Ares. It's pretty high, so I can fly down there. And here, this is way more military-like than the previous one that we saw. They're all forts, and you can see all these siege equipments and weapons. And the architecture here is not Minoan, but Mycenaean. So they were inspired by Mycenae and the big, fort structures for this region, which again makes sense in the context of Ares. I'm trying to figure out where I am, but the fog isn't making it easy. I guess we'll find out. Alright, there's a big statue of Ares with this war trumpet and his sword. which also feature in the game. I think if we go this way, we'll find something interesting. I think it's here. Is it this? Yeah. So
giant skeleton.
yeah, the skeleton of the so-called Drakon Ismenios, which in Greek mythology was a big serpent or dragon that protected the shrine of Ares or the cave of Ares near Thebes, and was later killed by Cadmos, who then took the teeth of the dragon, put it in the ground, and then the Spartoi, or the future rulers of Thebes, came out of the ground. And in this game, you're supposed to put the teeth back into the dragon. So you're like reversing or reenacting the myth. And then you'll find an object that you'll need in the game. And here we see Briareos, one of the Hecaton Kyries, that you'll have to kill, but I think that might take a bit of time.
So much depth in this.
Yeah, there's so many stories. Like, as a researcher, I sometimes feel like this game was made for my PhD because there's so much myth to uncover. Like this huge fortress, it's called Ajax's fortress, like one of the best heroes that the Greeks had. And it's huge. You can spend hours in there doing all the puzzles and all the quests.
I think it's a perfect game for also younger children to play.
Yeah, because it's so funny as well, and it has some adult themes maybe, but it's subtle enough for a younger audience as well, I think.
Yeah, and even the fighting is very cartoony.
Yeah.
The bodies are not laying around. There's no blood. They just, disappear.
Yeah, it's
not
like
too bad.
Because the enemies are minions of Typhon. They're actually already dead, so they're coming back from the underworld. So I guess you're just sending them back to the underworld. Because they're not, like you said, the bodies. They're not just lying around like they would in an Assassin's Creed game. Right,
and you're not fighting humans or soldiers or something.
Yeah, that's true. It's really stylish, and it's not that especially the last Assassin's Creed was really violent. Some of the assassinations, but no, this game is really not that violent. So
I have a 10-year-old nephew who loves playing Legends of Zelda. Like that guy is addicted, and I think this game would be perfect for him while he's getting all this Greek mythology knowledge in.
Yeah, definitely. It's really accessible, and it explains many of the myths, and he gets a lot of it right. So yeah, I think this game is a perfect introduction to Greek myth. So I think
someone asked Alexander, what is your favorite boss to fight, or what was your favorite boss?
My favorite boss. That's a good question because there's so many of them.
I know. I'm also thinking.
I think in the Ares storyline, so every god had when Typhon attacked, every god had his or her essence stolen. So you have to retrieve like the god's essence. So the main characterizing trait for that god, and in the Ares storyline, you get to that essence pretty quickly, but you'll have to destroy one of these creatures, the Hecatonkris, Kotos, if I remember correctly, and that was a fun puzzle and boss fight. I remember that one to be quite good, but I don't know about you.
Yeah, I enjoy the puzzles. I don't think I can say I enjoy the boss fights. Yeah. I do them, and sometimes it's not bad, kind of fun, but the fun for me really comes from the puzzles.
Yeah.
Thinking for half an hour, especially the ones that, when you go into the vaults, some of them can be very complicated.
That
I
is
have to
true.
start over like 15 times before I get it right. I like a challenge like that.
Yeah, there's some of them that I haven't been able to complete yet because I'm not patient enough to
Yeah.
deal with all of the lasers.
Oh, I hate the lasers.
Yeah, the lasers will
Oh my
they
god.
will kill you pretty quickly.
Ugh.
That
Yeah, there are puzzles where you have to stand on these sliding
yeah.
plates, and then they go up and down and left and right, but then there are lasers coming at you, so you have to jump over them, but if you jump too far, you fall off your plate. Oh my god.
Yeah. And
I could throw the controller to the screen.
yeah. No, yeah, it's that's really some of them are really difficult. It doesn't matter how
Okay,
leveled
I have
up.
to stop for today. I'm gonna try again next week because
Yeah.
I'm going crazy.
It doesn't matter how powerful you get, the lasers will keep being annoying. So we've
Puzzles. There were a couple of ones that I really had fun with. There was one vault that was like a flipper machine.
yeah,
There
that's
was
true.
this ball coming from the top, and you had these two handles on the side, and you had to, like a flipper machine.
Yeah, that's true. I don't remember where it
get
was
the ball
though.
to shoot back up and bounce against crates, and then little bonuses would fall out. That was fun.
Yeah, that is true. I don't remember where it was. Maybe we can do it, but there's so
And then another one that was fun was sort of a catapult that you shoot rocks with against a wall of
Yeah.
stacked cubus blocks.
yeah.
And so you had to, destroy all the blocks or have them all come down before you could move on.
Yeah, that's true.
That was kind of fun, aiming with the catapult to get all the blocks down as if you were a child playing with little blocks. That was fun too.
Yeah, there's many of the yeah. I really like the puzzles. Some of them are quite hard, but most of them are really fun to do as well.
Yeah.
So we completed a tour of the island. Maybe we could do some quests.
Yeah, why don't we go into one of those
The vaults?
vaults?
All right. Do I just pick one that's close? Yeah, maybe this one. I don't know which
you
one
have
it
to
is.
do the vaults in order to get upgrades and better equipment. So
Yeah.
they do encourage you to do all the vaults.
When you complete the vaults, you get lightning bolts of Zeus, and you can use that to enhance your stamina, like the blue bars next to you, the character. Oh, that right there is another boss. That's the first one I tried to defeat. That's Iolo, the harpy, but she was really difficult because I only had like 3 health bars, I think. And it was really difficult. I don't remember which vault this is that we're going to right now. Oh, I seem to have passed it. It's right beneath us.
Oh, I also really enjoy all the puzzles where you have to find the blue balls
Yeah, the
to form constellations.
yeah, the constellation puzzles. Yeah, those are also quite hard because
Yeah,
some of them are some of them are really easy, but oh yeah, I almost fell down. But
I mean,
others,
it's not like you can die. You just have to
Yeah.
think.
which is harder than not dying sometimes. I think if we go this way, we're supposed to get near to the... No? Am I wrong? Oh, there it is. But we need to do this puzzle first.
Okay.
So
So you see that there's 3 blue lights above that
Yeah.
thing.
we need to activate each of
We have
those.
to activate these gems in order to go into the area where the vault is.
Oh, I think I remember this. Yeah, so we have to light that with a flaming arrow. And that should be one of them. No? What? Did that do anything? Oh,
There are
now,
several that you have to do.
but now there's this that wasn't here before. Can use this and go here, and this will. Yes, that was the
That's
first one. Okay.
So
Now,
you see, it's very fun.
yeah,
You have to like search for clues and
what is this? Probably need to take this away, and then we can do this one.
yeah.
this pressure plate.
That's the second one.
And now the third one. Can't see it directly. Oh wait, can we go down? Yeah, we can go down this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right there. Now we have to get back up again. Climbing is also really different in this game than in Assassin's Creed, where you can just
you can't
keep on climbing.
Definitely climb. You have to. You can only climb until your blue box are empty.
The stamina.
Completed.
Can I? Yeah, we're here. Oh, another one? No, another one.
I think still higher up.
Yeah, use some abilities. And now we can go into this vault of Tartarus. Here we go.
Fingers crossed it's not one with lasers.
If it is one, we can do another one. Because those lasers are really annoying. Right. Calliope's distress.
This is the beautiful sky that you mentioned.
Oh yeah, look at it. It's pretty.
In the atmosphere.
Yeah. Okay, I think I remember this, but how we have to look at those boxes and do the pattern again, but we should not get hit by flaming the fireballs. So that one was easy. I think the other ones will be more difficult. Maybe this is one of these where we'll have to shoot a box.
Oh, I love the shooting too.
Yeah. Alright. This one is pretty straightforward. We should not get... Oh, I'm wrong. Did I do it wrong? That was... I thought it was the correct one. Or is there like
Sometimes you have to do them in the right order.
Yeah. Did this one? No. That's weird. Maybe you'll have to do the furthest one. Yeah, this is it. Oh, yeah, the fireball got me. Alright, we did the second one. Oh, we're actually on a quest here, retrieve a tear of Aphrodite. That's actually a main story quest. So you can do those without actually talking to Aphrodite first, apparently. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not always as good with flying.
No, and especially here.
Sometimes I just fall down for no reason.
True, and this one, here you'll fall, I mean, pretty much endlessly. So,
yeah.
There's another rock beneath. Oh, wait. Should we
I make it all the way to the end of this puzzle and then I just like fall over the edge.
Should we remember this? So it's 3 on the left, 2. Alright, I'm gonna try to remember that.
This would be one that I would write on a piece of paper and I would be playing.
That's what I do with the lyre challenges. That you have to remember the melody. Was it this?
Yeah, the lyre challenges is they play a melody.
Yeah.
And then you have to go somewhere else and recreate it.
Yeah, to the big lyres that we saw before.
And you can, I remember it with numbers. There are only four strings, and so I call them 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then they play the melody, and it's like 1, 3, 3, 2, 4, or whatever. And that's how I remember it.
I do the same thing. Now I write it down.
You can also do colors, because each have a color. So you can also do like blue, red, yellow, green. But for some reason, my brain works better with numbers than with colors.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did it with numbers as well. Oh no, I fell down.
Or you could just write it down, I guess.
Yeah, I had...
See, now you fell.
Yeah, I fell down.
That's how I die every time.
But luckily we have these spawn points. But I was trying to get that chest. Well,
And you can still leave the vault at any moment.
Yeah.
If it's too difficult, you can just wait and do it later.
If not, I would have been stuck with all of the lasers. Yeah, so we'll have to remember this. Okay, so it's like a cross with a on the right on the what was it again? This.
Oh,
No.
I'm not paying attention. You're playing.
Yeah. Was it this? No. I forgot. Maybe I'm not doing it in the right order. No, not again. Oh, luckily. That's what I did though. Did I not do that? Is it in the wrong order? Oh yeah. Alright, so we got the chest. Now we can get out of here.
That one was a fun one. Easy, very easy.
That was an easy one.
They also grade the vault, so I don't know if you noticed when you go into the vault at first, you could have a 1-star, 2-star, or 3 stars depending on how difficult this particular vault is.
See, this was an easy one.
This probably is a 1.
Yeah, it's a 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lucky for us.
Well, they're not stars, they're little bullheads, whatever.
Yeah. So right here is one of Aphrodite's tears. That is one of the things that we need to do for the main quest of Aphrodite.
You have to collect them.
Yeah, 3 of them.
The tear from the broken heart of the goddess of love.
Maybe Zeus will say something. Yeah.
Like Aphrodite is the first person to ever go through a breakup.
Zeus, it wasn't a breakup. He died.
Aww.
Yeah, this is one of the things that you have to do with the myth of Adonis, I think. So he died in a boar attack, a boar that was sent by Ares or even Ares himself, because he was jealous because he was in love with Aphrodite. And then Adonis died. And we also have these minotaurs here, which I think is an exact copy from the in Odyssey on the island of Crete of those statues. But they changed the colors, I think. And this is one of those lightning bolts that you collect and then you can leave the vault.
Did you create the character to look like you, Alexander?
A little bit. But the scar on his eye was actually I thought it looked like Kratos from the God of War series, so that's why I chose it.
Yeah. Well, I made mine to be a woman with long red hair, so
oh yeah.
I'm also guilty of making it after myself. Don't we all do that?
You could choose a lot of different skin tones. I think you can even make a green character or a purple character. So that was a vault of Tartarus, and there's so many of those.
Yeah, there's so many vaults.
Maybe we should do one of those main quests. Maybe, I don't know which one, Aphrodite, Athena, Hephaistos, or Ares, or someone in the chat has a... The chicken, that's Ares, yeah. Again, the chicken. So there's something with Ubisoft, recent Ubisoft games and chickens. I don't know why. In Odyssey, there were so many chickens, and they were very funny, those chickens. But and in Valhalla as well, there was this promotional poster with a chicken right on there. Someone at Ubisoft really loves chickens.
I actually read a blog post written by someone about chickens and video games.
Yeah, so that
very funny.
And this one is actually, it does some interesting things with those chickens, actually. See that I don't run out of... No, we're close. Oh wait, that's the boss will...
There's some more mushrooms to get new blue bars.
Yeah. We'll get away from that boss, that will take too long. So let's go back to Ares. Maybe we can, if it's not too far, we can fast travel there. No, it's about the same distance. I will can go quickly by horse. So again, like all of the war and battlefield imagery that really contributes to how this game wants you to see Ares.
I bet if a kid plays this, they could keep them occupied for like a year.
Yeah, probably. Have to start climbing.
The wars then.
Yeah. Alright, we're getting close.
Meet the majestic creature.
Yeah, so
Majestic creature.
what I previously did was you have to scout all of the regions, and then from the statue of Ares, there was like a majestic bear creature that we saw, and Fenyx thought that should have to do something with Ares.
So. Didn't they first think that the bear is Ares, but then it turns out the chicken is?
Yeah. Wait, where it's here, I think. So yeah, this is that majestic creature. So let's talk to it.
There it is. Hello, majestic creature.
He's just sitting there.
Come no closer. I am Ares, the mighty god of war. I will tear you limb.
Even though his mouth is not moving, he's still speaking.
Your puny frame will reduce
Or
to
is he?
dust in my paws.
Great Ares, my name is Fenyx. I'm here to defeat Typhon, and I require help from the god of war.
Do you think my mighty blade is at the beck and call of anyone who asks? Don't make me laugh.
I didn't mean any disrespect. I just can't do this without you.
You have exhausted my patience. Flee, mortal, before you are forced to bear witness to your own destruction. I will feast on your very liver. Your eyeballs.
Uh-oh.
And last but certainly not least, your quaking, shaking little heart.
The bear gets distracted.
Yeah.
Oops.
Alright, the jig is up. Just get it over with.
So we see that the mighty Ares has transformed into a chicken.
Calm down,
He's so melodramatic.
Yeah.
Either you do the honors, or they will.
Uh-oh.
So now we have to protect him.
The mighty creature.
Yeah. So you see they don't actually...
Fighting is very hack and slash, right?
Yeah, that's
You
true.
don't really have to do much.
No, you
Just
don't.
move around.
So now we should talk to the chicken again.
Okay, my turn, warrior. Come now, dice me up. I'm a chicken. Pathetic, clucking poultry.
I'm looking for Ares. He's not...
I am he! Once the mighty god of war, now reduced to an easily startled pile of feathers.
Are you sure?
Does a bear poop in the woods?
Right, so all the gods have been turned into something else, so now you
Yeah.
have to go and find their essence
Yeah.
so that they can become themselves again and join you in that
battle in your chariot.
pavilion that we were in the beginning.
Yeah, the Hall of the Gods.
Where is your famous pride?
But you see his famous pride is gone.
I wish you
So that we'll have to find that.
so this would all be over. No one gives a buck about me now.
Since when does the mighty Ares care what anyone thinks?
But it's a fun subversion of Ares to see him as a defenseless chicken.
I mean, you must still, do strategy or something.
Reminds me a bit of the humor of Fable. I don't know if you ever played Fable back in the day. But...
I don't think so, no.
Laughing stock. Even my love, Aphrodite, rejected me the moment.
But it's like the game is full of this kind of humor, and it actually also in Odyssey as well. They also had humorous chickens.
Yeah, we were freaky back then. Times have changed.
That was last month.
My father never had to peck for scraps on the ground. You have no idea the things that look like barley, but are not barley.
Look, my fellow soldiers, the townspeople, my brother, they were all cursed by Typhon. They need your help.
So Fenyx is the one who has to convince and save all the gods in order to defeat Typhon at the end.
This animal cannot help you. I'm not getting Aphrodite back, and you can't even hurt a chicken. Your brother is as good as dead.
Hey,
now leave me alone to cry in peace. Which I will also fail to do because chickens can't express.
I heard that this game was not as popular as most of other Ubisoft games, and I don't really understand why.
Yeah,
I'll let Aphrodite know you've given
I don't know. Maybe the cartoonish style drove some people away. I don't know.
useless to fight.
It also
But it
got...
also came out pretty much the same time as Valhalla,
That is true,
so that
yeah.
didn't help.
And a couple months before that we had Hades, so maybe people were still playing that.
Right.
Even if my essence would fix me, there's no way
But yeah, I think Valhalla was
yeah.
the best received, best-selling Assassin's Creed game that ever was, so people put their money in that, maybe.
Would I find
Yeah, I bought Valhalla when it came out and played it, you know, straight for 4 months.
Yeah.
But then when I pretty much finished it, I bought this one and started playing because I wanted to do both of them.
Yeah, me too.
It'll help.
Maybe if they promote it a little bit more people will still go and buy it.
Yeah. I think the DLC also looks really interesting because I have the two
Has the
DLC.
DLC come out yet?
Yeah, all three of them I think. But I haven't played them yet. But two of them are set in ancient Greece, and one of them is set in ancient China. So there's an entirely different story with Chinese gods. It looks really interesting. So now we have to use this huge spear and this cannon, or what do you call that? Catapult?
Catapults, yeah.
And we have to open the way to Ares' vault. Look at the proud chicken.
Conveniently placed giant spear.
It's not blocked anymore, so off I go.
Fine. It's your funeral. Rest in pieces.
But the game also didn't get the best reviews, I think. I think most reviews rated it a 7 out of 10, but I would have given it more.
But let's make it 0.1 with my blessing. There, no. Look at me. You are not ready.
Yeah, I think so too. I can't hear you right
Boys,
now.
it checks out. He's been a disappointment since day one.
Babies, such freeloaders.
Can you hear me? Oh. So I'm just going to go into the vault. to try to get Ares' essence back. One of the fun things is that Zeus would always give a little commentary at those tutorial loading screens. And right here we are in Ares' vault. It's pretty big, so I don't think we'll be able to get through all of it, but we can look at it.
Vengeance will be mine.
So this is one of those floating things that you use to get higher. I think I should have done that differently. Like this. Yeah. Put it right there. Alright, so how are we gonna get there? Oh, that was not good. Maybe I can just keep them that way. Right. Hi, are you back?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you again. So we are in...
We said that we have about 10 minutes left.
Oh, yeah, I see.
So if anyone has any last questions or areas that they want to go explore, now is the moment.
Yeah, because we can go out of this vault, because it's going to take a long time to do. But we can see, this is the boss battle that I talked about earlier. This is Kotos. He's chained. And he's also turned to stone.
Like this one.
What?
But these floating cubes that you have to jump on, that's way too many opportunities for me to fall.
Fenyx found a statue bound by
See,
chains,
this is one of those
bearing a strong
hecatoncheires.
resemblance to Cotys, the hecatoncheires.
Let me guess. The 100
So,
arms were a dead giveaway.
we're supposed to
So these chains can be broken.
break the chains and then defeat him, and then behind him will be his essence, or the essence of Ares. So normally you get those at the end of a storyline, but here you get them right at the beginning.
Right, so this is like a big vault with
Yeah.
multiple puzzles to
Yeah.
get the essence.
So that's gonna...
Yeah, I mean, this game is huge. It has so many layers.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, no, I fell again. No, did I? Yeah, no, I saved it. No, yeah.
Now you're gonna fall. Good thing they had your
Right.
fight.
Yeah. Because this is a new game, plus enemies hit way harder than they should in a normal game.
Yeah, because you finished it and then you're
Yeah.
playing again.
So if anyone wants to see something in the game, oh, I missed it.
Don't die, Alexander.
I'm not dying. Let's see. Oh,
You got some potions left.
so he's supposed to get there. He's gonna... No. Oh no. I might have
And
screwed.
once I tried to see how high I could get, so I kept stacking these blocks like above me and above me and above. Then I fell off at some point.
So we can't get back to the surface after stacking all of them. Alright, some more enemies. So yeah, luckily you get these slow motion events if you dodge at the right time, because it will get a little bit hectic. Oh. So all of these abilities that I'm using right now, they're also named after certain gods. I can maybe show it real quick. So
it says so in the tutorials.
yeah, so this is Athena's dash, where you're using her the Aegis shield. Heracles' strength, that allows you to lift heavy rocks. Ares' wrath, and you'll spawn all of these spears into the air. This is Phosphor, your bird. Apollo's arrows, where you get to guide the arrows, and this is Hephaistos' hammer. So all of these ability that you'd find in other games as well, maybe have these mythological references to them. That, I mean, it makes them more interesting, I think, because they're associated with certain gods. And the weapons too, because I think the weapons you start out with are like the sword of Achilles and the bow of Odysseus.
Something I don't know what Ares' wrath is.
Oh, that's this ability. The spears that you summon out of the ground.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out that that meant that.
Oh, yeah. Another one. Maybe I could leave that. Can I drop this on? No, probably won't. Oh, there's more. This really is.
This is giant.
Yeah, this is really Ares, and this is only one of the 4 or 5 chains. Maybe we can get through one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, not my favorite. Oh.
No. But I like the fact that it had the Kotos chained up like it is in the myths, where he's kept in the underworld. But then, when Zeus needs him to fight off the Titans, and Zeus gets him out of there. And you can see that you get Zeus's lightning as well if you charge up your arrows. So all of these gods have their own mythic abilities, inspired by the ancient stories. Alright, so if I remember correctly, we should perhaps do this. No, wait. No, that doesn't work. I can't. Oh wait, there's another one.
We're almost at the end of our time, so I'm afraid we'll have to wrap it up.
So if anyone has any last questions, now is the time.
I don't see anything, so I think we can finish it up.
Alright.
Thank you, Alexander, for showing us this game. I think it's an amazing game, and I would totally recommend it for everyone, basically.
Yeah,
I would give it to my children to play if I would have children.
Yeah, it's really fun, and it's a great introduction to myth, and it's very funny.
So thank you everyone for being here. This was fun. We are going to take a little summer break, so there won't be any Archaeogaming sessions over the summer, but hopefully we should be back late summer, early fall, with more games to play and more scholars to talk about games. Of course, SASA as an organization will have many more live events, and over the summer we will also be having reading groups, just as we did last summer. So please go to the Safe Asian Studies website to see all the reading groups that are available for you to join for free, and all our future live events that we will have that you can join in the weekends as well. Hope to see you there. And thank you, Alexander.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye. So, do I quit the game or how do I?
Okay.
Yay. I think the stream looks like it stopped me, so I think
Oh
it's
yeah.
good.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's the blue screen thing.
Oh
Like
wait.
you're on the menu settings or something.
Oh wait. I think.
Let me reload my